Andrew, let's go at 10:30. I'll wait until there's a picture up on the screen. because I have no picture. I have no picture on my screen. I know. McFarland, Spartan Basketball is on the air. Good evening, Spartan Nation, and welcome to McFarland Boys Basketball. My name is Bill the Big K Cather, your play-by-play announcer for this evening's game. Just living the dream of bringing you McFarland youth activities to you. I'm going to do my best tonight to keep this telecast as accurate, informative, and entertaining as I can for your viewing pleasure. I hope to be joined here shortly by the McFarland head girls basketball coach, Mr. Pete Willickett. Let me first give a shout-out to those watching tonight in Kansas City, Minneapolis, Chicago, Houston, Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida, Arizona, California, and even my own son, hello, brother, down in Colombia, South America, tuning in, as well as maybe some of those of you viewing down in Evansville tonight, as well as even Shanghai, China. Hi to Mark and Leah Hefty viewing over there. For your information, these games can be viewed 4 different ways. Some of you right now are viewing this live at Cable 982. This game is also being live streamed right now at our website, which is YouTube McFarland Cable. A third place to view this is later on. If you go to that same website later tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, you can view this game at YouTube McFarland Cable, as well as you can go to the Village of McFarland Facebook and also view it there at a later date. Tonight, as I always do in the absence of the band tonight, I'm still going to sing the school song in memory of Badger Bill Garvey, a music and coaching legend here at McFarland. So here we go for you, Badger Bill. Fight for our Spartans, valiant fight for our colors, brilliant fight, fight, McFarland high. Don't let them buy you, rah, 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 hail to our Spartans, valiant hail to our colors, brilliant though odds be greater, small we're victors overall. Love you, Garv. I know you're looking down on this ball game from heaven, so kudos to you for all you did for this community and the kids over the years. Tribute to you. Okay, on the outside tonight, it's getting rather frigid. It's about 11 degrees outside when I entered the building tonight. But you know what? We don't care because we are not outside in the frozen tundra, as I say. Because you are, as Brent Musburger would say, you are looking live at McFarland High School Gymnasium on this Thursday, February the 9th, 2017, to witness tonight's first-place battle between the Blue Devils of Evansville and your McFarland Spartans. Evansville, the Blue Devils, a Division III school of 554 students, coached by Mr. Steve Krupke, assistant coach by the long, storied career and veteran Ron Grovestein. Overall, 14-4, Rock Valley North 10-2 in second place, one game behind the McFarland Spartans. They're led by 6-foot senior Brennan Banks, averaging 24.6 points a game, 72 assists and 42 steals on the year. 6'3" junior Zach Milkey. 16.3 points a game, 9.8 rebounds, and 44 assists. 6'2" freshman Sully Geske, 10.4 points a game and 28 steals, 30 blocks. 6'1" senior Brody Mogg, 5.2 points a game, 24 steals, and a 6'3" senior Hayden Reese, averaging 10.7 points a game. That's good. Coach Willickett just came in the house here, so that's good for me. Just finishing up my pregame stuff, and then we'll get some insights from you here. He's got his Snickers bar and his Pepsi, so I see he's brought dinner to the game tonight. Next, for your McFarland Spartans Division II school, 698 students, coached by Mr. Jeff Meinold, assistant Tim King. Overall, 13-4, Rock Valley North, 11-1, first place, one game ahead of the Blue Devils, led by 6'3" senior Brandon Baseline Aker. That's what I told him I was going to call him now. 13.4 points a game. 6'4" senior Sam I Am Green Eggs and Ham Hansen, our Dr. Seuss player, 13.4, as well as averaging 6 rebounds a game, leading the team. 6'3" junior Brady the Blender Butler. Put him in a blender, all the basketball skills, and mix them up, and out comes Brady Butler, 7.7 points a game and 4.1 rebounds. 5'10" senior Seth Swish-Howry, 6.2 points a game. 6'3" senior Nick our soccer player, Messi Hildebrand, 3.8 points a game. 5'8" junior Philip Magic Robinson, 5.4 points a game. 6'3" junior Hunter, Mr. Diligent Patchen, 5.5 points a game. Diligent because he'll keep working till the job gets done. 6'2" junior Cody Nassau, he'll launch him from anywhere at any time. Wanta, 3.8 points a game. 6'1" junior Nick Kirby Herbst, 2.1, and 6'5" senior Zach Curry Neal. Cather's keys to tonight's ball game for Evansville. They're going to need to limit their turnovers because I believe this is going to be really up-tempo racehorse-type game. So need to limit your turnovers, stay focused, and use good fundamentals, good shot selection. For McFarland, don't get overhyped. Again, this is a chance to really put a nice lock here on first place in the Rock Valley North Division. Need to stay focused. Need to play good team basketball. Again, this will be another, as Coach Mino loves to say, it's we rather than me basketball, as well as shut down Mr. Do-Everything Brennan Banks. Question to be answered tonight, who's going to leave this gym at the end of 90 minutes here and will it be a first-place tie between these two schools, or will the McFarland Spartans put a lock on first place? Before I bring in Coach Willickett, I want a quick rundown our Spartan sponsors here. Edward Jones, Joe Muting Agency, Gingerbread House Preschool, Nelson's Bus Service, Medicine Shop, SG Insurance, Kemper Preferred, Steve Garvel Agency, Century 21, Jeff Schrammel, McFarland State Bank, Baker Tilly, Farmers Insurance, Mike Chandler Agency, Angelo's McFarland, State Farm Insurance, Jim Hartman Agency, Dan Chin Homes, Sparkle Auto Body, Spurley Farm, Spartan Pizza, Ken's Automotive, Madison Futsal, Maple Tree Restaurant, Huntington Learning Center, Culvers of McFarland, Washa Construction, Credo Product Development, Maine Moon, Scott White Chiropractic, 608 Threads, Matt Splinter Memorial Foundation, Spartan Bowl, Wisconsin Betting, Dan Frank, Quick Trip of McFarland, Green Lantern, Monda's Family Hair Care, McFarland True Value, 5100 Restaurant, Shelton Signs, Rural Masonry, and Stark Realty, Jeff Minter. So again, please get out and use these sponsors as often as you can. And while you're in there, please express how much you appreciate their support of McFarland Athletics and our McFarland School District. So at this time, I'm going to welcome in, as I refer to him on my broadcasts, our All-State Insurance coach, Coach Pete Willickett, because you're in good hands with Willickett. How do you like that, Coach, huh? I know you're very humble in that, but we might need to get that a little closer to you so we can hear you. Let's see.
You might get sued for false advertising on that, but I guess it'll work.
Hey, I'm going to tell him, Patrick, we're going to get your volume up here so we can get his volume up so we can hear the coach a little better. Try it now.
This is the first time anyone's ever asked for my volume to be up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Usually for mine, too. Usually I tell them I don't even need a microphone.
People are preferring I get muted on most situations here. But.
You know, we're still not picking it up. So we've got our tech crew here going to try and set this up. So maybe what we're going to wind up doing here, we are going to go to our national anthem. I'm going to ask you all to do what we are doing here, which is please stand, remove your headgear, put your hand over your heart, and pay tribute to the United States of America. Go ahead and talk again. Let's see if we can hear you now.
Test. Is this?
Yep.
Hey,
now we are on. We got the coach back with us.
And I wasted all my brilliant insight when it was muted. How about that?
I'll tell you, that's
now.
wonderful. Hey, I really thank you for that. Now we don't need to hear from you again until halftime. Now that you've got all that wisdom in that short. All right, national anthem time, and then we'll be back for the starting lineups and tip time for tonight's first place battle here. Okay, we are back, and we are getting ready for the starting lineups here. First, for the Blue Devils of Evansville, and again, big crowd here tonight, first place battle in your Rock Valley North Conference. Starting first, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Brennan Banks. Does a little bit of everything. 6' 3" senior, number 23, Hayden Reese. 6' 2" ninth grader freshman Sully Geske. Oh, I'm sorry, number 30, Brody Mogg, a 6' 1" senior. Number 32, Zach Milkey, a 6' 3" junior. And here comes Sully Geske, our 6' 2" freshman. Just got him a little bit out of order number-wise. Okay. Hayden Reese trying to pump him up, and here for your McFarland Spartans first, Seth Swish Howry, 5' 10" senior. Number 2, Brady Butler, the blender, 6' 3" guard. Sam I Am Green Eggs and Ham Hansen, number 10, a 6' 4" senior. Nick Messi Hildebrand, our soccer star. And last, Brandon Baseline Acre, rather than Green Acres. We got a new name for him here tonight. So let me couple quick comments here since we missed all of them with technical difficulties here. So go ahead, Coach, and then we'll be ready for the tip time, and we'll get in. I think fast-paced game here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it'll be up-tempo here. It's really going to be predicated, I think, on McFarland's ability to handle the pick and roll. They love to run that with Banks. You've mentioned about his skill set.
Yep.
Great passer, sees the floor, can shoot from anywhere, can get to the rim. Did a nice job with that earlier in the year. The other thing they've got to make sure they're adjusting to here now is how Evansville responds to the box and one they used earlier in the year against Banks. They're going to have a better weapon against that. How do they respond? And then how they can handle McFarland's 1-3-1 zone attack that they'll use as well.
All right. Nice crowd here tonight for this struggle. A lot of people came out to watch this. Tip goes to Banks. Guarded by Hildebrand. Hildebrand always assigned to the other team's leading scorer.
Looks like he's in a no-help situation here. Just going to deny him.
24, Geske, the freshman. Banks. Gonna need to get some help there. Hansen doing a nice job stepping out, helping. Banks. Back out to Reese. Over to Geske. Down low, Milkey, and steps on Zach Milkey. 6'3" junior, averaging 16.3 points a game. So
great help there when Banks was trying to penetrate and really force the ball out of his hands.
Yep. Butler, Howery, Hanson, the post. Aker, and the kiss off the glass, and Brandon opening up the scoring. No baseline necessary that time, just a nice little move. 3-4 feet, center of the lane, and the kiss off the glass, and it's 2-0 early. Good quick start here for the Spartans tonight. Banks, step back, 3. Oh, honeycombed out. Hanson and Milky on the rebound, and Milky stepping on the out-of-bounds line. Boy, that ball honeycombed out from about 25 feet.
I'll tell you what, if that's the best shot they can get is a fadeaway 3 with a hand in the face there, McFarland's defense is doing pretty well.
Take it all night long, won't they?
He'll hit a couple of them, but I don't know if it'll be enough to do anything with it.
Right. Howery. Chance for Hildebrand on the roll there. Didn't pick him up, going baseline.
Be interesting to see if they can get it into Aker against
Brody Mogg.
Mogg, yes.
Yep. Little height advantage there for Aker. Oh, they're going to the same spot. Tried to hit Hanson.
Not sure I love the leverage that they used on that one. The angle looked like it was to the inside. He tried going baseline on the pass.
Yep. 23, nice drive by Hayden Reese. And they are going to call a charge, much to the dismay of the Blue Devil fans.
Tremendous job of Mr. Howery there, getting his feet set in a legal guarding position, letting them absorb the contact.
Yep, very good. And we do not have the little circle under the hoop, so held his position nicely and took the charge. Nope, tried to go a little backdoor there to Hildebrand again, and an errant pass. Kids are pretty quick these days. Boy, that pass, there's such a small window of opportunity.
Oh, and Brennan did such a great job sinking on that.
Yep. No good by Sully Geske on a putback, and there goes Aker again to the basket. Boy, these last 3 or 4 ball games, he's just becoming unstoppable in there around the basket.
He's just playing so physical right now, just playing off of 2 feet a lot as well, giving him great power, giving him great control.
Yep. Pass going strong baseline, no good on the jumper. Butler on the push. An opportunity to talk for a couple minutes with Brandon before the start of the game tonight out in the hallway, and assured me, he said, hey, he is just feeling so much more comfortable and confident here. Well, he knows also he's closing out. This is his senior season, so got to do it now. Hanson, a little short. I thought I was going to get my first kaboom of the night, but a little on the short side, and a foul on Sam Hanson. You don't like to see those fouls committed 75 feet from the basket. I know he's going for the rebound, but
you get a situation where it looks like he drifts a bit on the shot, so it's not a great shot with the balance, and then it's almost a frustration foul, you know?
Yep. Oh, Banks step back, and all net for Brennan Banks, his first deuce of the night. We're at 4-2, 15 minutes to go in the first half. Played 3 minutes of the ball game and 4-2.
Tempo is exactly like you said. I mean, there's no room to exhale here.
Nope. Butler and rejected. Brady Butler talking with him too, just about attacking the basket a little bit more, which he's been doing successfully, just keeping the head up and seeing emphasis on using pump fake, ball fake when you get in there, because everybody wants to go make the block and get the woo of the crowd in that, but
yeah, shot selection becomes so important, and part of that is just passing up that good shot for a great shot. As you get into these more highly contested games, you've got to have better shot selection.
Hanson, attack it, Aker, watch this, tried to go baseline, cut off by the freshman, Geske.
Help on Banks here, help on Banks.
Yep, he's ready to let that fly and decided nope.
So fluid with his movement, he's just a tremendous athlete.
Yeah, he is. Howery doing a nice job cutting off Geske on the baseline. Senior on freshman right there. Banks. Hildebrand. And there's Brandon Banks. A little strong on the overlay, and Spartans with the rebound.
Their initial defense of the ball screen there was pretty good, but then after he pulled it out, they all kind of sagged off and let Hildebrand go one-on-one there. I don't know if that's a great matchup.
No. And I can tell you another thing, too. Banks head up, got to the rim, and just a little on the overlay. So important Boy, when you penetrate, you got to keep that head up so you can see what's coming at you.
Well, and the second part of that then is having teammates that are moving and spacing
Correct.
the floor accordingly, and how Evansville responds off of his drive will have a lot to do with how they do offensively.
Oh, Brandon, rather than going baseline, took the lane approach and just a little alligator arm, short-armed it just a little bit. Banks trying to ISO with Hildebrand over here in the right corner. Baseline will help. Hansen, ball out. Hayden Reese. Little push off there on Butler. Back. Geske from the deep corner. And your freshman airballed it. 12:50 to go in the first half. We're still 4-2. Lid's kind of on the basket for both teams so far.
They've gotten some pretty good looks at the rim. I mean, you just get a couple that'll rattle out over time. Those are going to fall. Just want to keep getting quality looks.
Hildebrand. Howry. Butler. Guarded by Reese. Team slowing down just a little bit here. Oh, and a reach in by Seth Mogg, number 44, a 6'5" freshman himself, averaging 2.9 points a game.
One of the things that Coach Meinholz's offense does so well is they'll completely overload that side of the floor, almost 5 on one side of the rim, and just get that ISO look with all that space. If you're not playing help defense, you can get some really clean looks.
Yep. Sam Hansen, you can see he was going to go baseline, turned around. Didn't quite, boy, you got to make sure you just still get square to the basket on that move.
I've always talked
any move.
I've always talked to the athletes about the hoop does not move.
Yes.
So if you're fading, be it north or south, east or west, you're now shooting at a moving target. Why would we want to make it more difficult for us?
Correct. Geske, a little miss on the 8-foot turnaround, a little short. And Philip Magic Robinson checking in, and Hunter, Mr. Diligent Patchen checking into the ball game.
Be interesting to see what Philip can bring here now. He's been instant offense in a few games here. Hopefully he can just let it come to him and take what the defense gives him.
Yep. Got a lot more playing time since football injury held him out at the start, but just seeing the floor a little bit more and more. Long ball, no good. A little short side. He was 4 for 9. Decent percentage from 3, now 4 for 10. Oh, and the freshman, Geske. A little different when you're out here as a freshman. I don't care how many ball games they've played. You put them out here, especially in this environment. We got a pretty big house here tonight. It's one little section behind the Spartan bench, and outside of that, very nice crowd here for Thursday night. Well, basically playing for a conference title here tonight. So
for the opportunity to keep it alive,
Yep. As well as we're getting later in the season, you want to be playing your best basketball now as we head into tournament time. Butler, a little mishandle on the drive. On the floor, Hayden Reese.
Be interesting to see if they ice the ball screen on the wing. And when I talk about icing, it's a very popular defense in the NBA right now where they'll actually flip their hips and force the use of the ball screen.
Hildebrand, still short.
I know they tried that in game 1 to try and stifle that ball screen a little
break,
bit.
and the Stockton layup.
Good inside
by
hand
number
finish.
32, Milky, his first 2, and we're knotted at the 10:40 mark of the first half, 4 all. And that will be the 4th foul on Evansville, only 1 on the Spartans so far, so a couple more, and all of a sudden the Spartans are going to be in the bonus here early in the first half. Sure, that's something as a coach you never mind being in, as the bonus. Those are should be free points.
Yeah, as long as you got the right ones out there shooting those free throws.
Yes, as long as you don't have Ethan Happ at that free throw line, or kids that have gone to the Ethan Happ free throw clinic.
He'd be a hard one to take off the floor regardless of how he's shooting from the line. Boy, does he do some nice things.
Yes, he does. Oh, beautiful entry pass, and Hunter Patchen with a beautiful pump fake, but keeping the ball down low.
Speaking of Ethan Happ, you get the Ethan Happ pump fake underneath there by Hunter Patchen. You know, just give the guys enough time to buy what you sell them before you go up and put it back up there.
Yep. Nick Kirby-Herbst in the ball game right now. A low-scoring contest right now, 4-4. Nick Herbst, head up. Oh, beautiful position by Hunter Patchen, and beautiful low post positioning in the lane. And the 6'3" junior knocks down his first deuce.
It seems pretty obvious what the game plan is here for McFarland. Just throw that baby into the paint.
Yep. Get that ball down low. The paint, the post. Little height advantage there. 32, Zach Milkey going to the line. 35 out of 61, a 57% free throw shooter on the year. 2 shots. First one good.
You know, one thing I just noticed here on this free throw, which I love already, you've got one official who's having a conversation with a coach on the sideline. You've got another official under the basket explaining to an athlete something. Just when you have that relationship, it's just a better environment for everybody.
And a better, smoother flowing game too, because everybody understands how the game's going to be called, and helping kids play the game too, knowing what your expectations and limitations, guidelines, whatever I guess are for that contest. Patchen. It's 6-all, 9:40 to go in your first half. Give a little shout out tonight for public address announcer John Wells, who has been home ill the last 2 days, who's not with us tonight, but hope you're enjoying the ball game at home tonight, John. Also, a little too much dribbling, and we are going to get a foul on Philip Robinson. Kind of jumped that with a little trap right there, and
it's kind of a young mistake. You know, they get a tip on the ball, that's fine, but now secure it with 2 hands, 2 feet, pivot out. You know, don't let one little tip result in a huge issue. All of a sudden you're trying to dribble out a loose ball, and you're going to end up losing it here, and he gets the frustration foul at the end there as well.
Yep. I think you make a real good point sometimes. You need to possess the ball before anything else can happen. Too many times kids want to just, especially in up-tempo style of play ball, they all want to just keep going and going and going, and not going anywhere if you don't possess it. Nice drive, Brody Mogg.
Charged by Seth Howard.
Brody Mogg, the second charge taken tonight by Seth Swish-Howery.
Doing his best Zach Showalter impression right now. Just getting to that spot and just letting the defense or the offense play through him.
Cody Nassau-Wanta in the ball game. There we go. Post kick it out. Swish-Howery. Kaboom! Seth Howery for 3. Splash it, Seth. 25 out of 75 now. 26 out of 75 on the year. 35% from three-point line. Boy, that was a big, nice bucket. He got his feet set, and whoa, Coach Meinholt not happy with that.
He's talking about not giving him his left hand there coming through the rim. You know, step in with your feet, help with your feet, don't help with your hands.
Right.
He's getting an and one here now.
I call that Matador or Ole defense, right? You just swipe the hand out there, and that's not going to do it, Hayden Reese. So this could totally negate. Nope. I was going to say Howery's 3-ball, but not. 1 point advantage. We're at 9-8 here, 8:35 to go in the first half.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Mino go back to the A set. Yep, here it is right now. He's going to look for that high-low inside. You have the kick out to the perimeter if there's any sort of help on the post.
Yep, you called it. That's why I've got the coach. I said, tonight I'm in good hands with Coach Willickett. No, it's a pleasure, Pete. I'll tell you, this is great having your insight. You're the one that's around here all the time. You know the ins and the outs.
Well, it's just nice when I get a chance to talk basketball. Now I know at least one person's listening because you're next to me.
I don't have a choice here, people.
I'm sure most of the people at home have just muted my mic somehow, but that's okay. I know it.
Did you hear that, Brad? That's for our, Brenna Banks. Oh! And on the rebound putback, and that's going to be Zach Milkey. So a little height advantage over Seth Howery down low.
I see some words being exchanged as well.
Yep.
I'm sure they're just wishing each other well on the rest of the competition.
I'm sure they are also. Actually, sometimes I did ask Brandon Akers. He said he plays some ball with AU groups with Brenna Banks and that. So you know, there's a connect here. These kids still, again, heat of competition, but he can still keep sportsmanship and something involved here. Milky, that's 3 out of 3 from the stripe so far, 5 points. And I call that a Disney free throw. All nets, wishes can come true. They can happen to you, and they just happen to Zach Milky. 6 points for the 6'3" senior so far, and a 10-9 Blue Devil advantage. Trying to go into that post again. Got to go meet the ball and make a little better pass in there.
It's just such a tough angle. You
Yes, it
talk
is.
about going straight lane line right down. You don't have any angle when there's a help defense there. Like to get it to a wing below the free throw line, possible bounce pass, those sorts of things.
Okay, I was just going to ask you. Okay, so how do you take care of that problem? Need a little more patience.
Yep.
Correct?
One of the things that we talk about when you get that post matchup that you really like, chances are they're not switching out of it, so there's really no need to get it on that pass. Move it, reverse it.
Right.
You know, I thought they had an entry angle on the left wing there. They wanted to reverse it a little bit. That's fine. But then get it all the way out to that wing so that you can get it in there in a better spot where there's less help defense.
Right. I'm going to give a shout out right now to our helpers tonight. Up on our skybox at half court on the camera, Mr. Ben Bex. Thanks, Ben. Floor cam tonight from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Home of the Gophers, the Wild, the T-Wolves. Mr. Patrick Morn. And over on the board tonight, we've got a pair tonight to pick to. Ms. Stephanie Miller and the Bearded Wonder, Mr. Andrew Day. Thanks again. You make this telecast a lot easier for myself, for the coach here tonight, and for those viewing at home. Even that much more entertaining. So thanks a lot again. As we're starting to tone this season down a little bit, I'm going to invite all our viewers here tonight, if you can, first off, get here tomorrow night, senior night. Say goodbye to Brooke Lonegro, who's given 4 years of endless hours, endless time, not just in the gym here, but in her driveway and you name it. I can tell you. So pay a little tribute to her. If you can't, be sure to tune in. I'll be on the air tomorrow night. Senior night here. Coach Willicott's girls playing East Troy. Always a competitive game against Brownies, East Troy girls.
And they're playing well right now.
Yes, they are. Banks coming down. Ooh, a little short on the 8-foot right elbow jumper. And we're still at 10-9. Nobody's lit it up here yet. You know, 1 3 ball from Seth Swish-Howery, and that's been the extent of even the long ball.
I'd like to see McFarland get back to that A set, get back to that horn set with that double high post or the double ball screen up top.
Herbst, Butler, guarded by Mogg. Down low to Aker, put the ball on the floor, and in came the double by Hayden Reese. And, oh boy, looked like a little rugby scrum. Seth Swish-Howery, a little on the deep side on that one. Cross-court pass. Boy, if you would have had your head up, you could have seen that. That was a rather lengthy cross-court pass.
You got to see the floor as you transition offensively and defensively.
Absolutely, great point. Zach Milky, and the Banks, and there's the gift underneath. Beautiful pass from Zach Milky as Evansville swung the ball real nice back to the weak side.
Butler was doing a very nice job denying him out on that perimeter, but you got to have some help when he cuts. If you're denying him way out there and he gets behind you, you're in a bad spot. You got to have a help defender there.
I think you said it so well. Defense, boy. This is a team game, and there's Hansen again. Not squared up to the basket, just kind of that little push-up from the side. Oh, and the kiss off the glass by Sully Geske, the 6'2" freshman, his first deuce of the night, and a 5-point advantage for the Blue Devils.
I wouldn't be surprised to see McFarland go to maybe that 1-3-1 look here.
Right.
One of the things they got to be aware of, though, whether it's man-to-man, it's a 1-3-1, 1-2-2, not one person defends Banks. 5 have to defend him. 1 may be responsible for him, depending on where he is, but help when he's got the ball, cheat over 2 more steps. We've got to make sure that you've got eyes on him at all times.
Absolutely. I mean, because he is a ball player. You get this in McFarland Cable TV, Channel 982 is a function of the Village of McFarland and producing high school sports as a result of a community survey and fan interest indicating viewers like you at home as well as fans in attendance desire this type of programming. I encourage you to inform your village officials by way of an email, a phone call, how much you enjoy these high-quality productions. Positive efforts of our McFarland youth deserves to be recognized in all forms of the media. State Journal, Thistle, Cable Channel 982, as well as our YouTube McFarland Cable website, as well as the Village of McFarland Facebook page. So once again, thanks for your support. All right, back to action. 5:20 to go in the first half, 14-9. Sam Hansen being guarded by Zach Milkey.
Coach
Butler
Krupp looking for a travel on that with Hansen shuffling his feet.
Butler head up, rejected again, ball on the floor. Spartans had come up with a couple of those loose balls on the floor. Butler with the little pump. Thought he might have got hit on the elbow. And look at the body control and positioning of Brenna Banks. There is your seasoned veteran.
Tremendous job severing the angle, stepping on the toes of the defender that time to make sure that he's on his back.
As an offensive player, he sealed the defender right there. Just nice kick out. Howry swing the ball. Nice bounce pass, and there is Aker again, the kiss off the glass. Nice bounce pass that time. The assist goes to Brady Butler, clapping his hands, trying to get team. Whoa, and ball on the floor. Looked like that ball was just going to sit there. We had a little holler here from Athletic Director Coach Ackley here off to our right.
Doing a rebounding drill in practice, and you love to see that thing bounce. It means you got your box
right.
ups, but here in the real world, you need to go get that thing.
Absolutely. Can't just see it bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and watch it. Said that's kind of a Kodak moment. That's one you don't want to sit and take a picture of it. Go get it.
Farland's still looking for that high
down
low.
There goes Aker. Baseline. Oh. I think Stoughton complaining that he was hooking him, getting that little advantage on that. That's Brandon's move. So I'll tell you, you go baseline, he's getting 2 free throws. He's getting a hoop, or he's getting a hoop and a free throw in the old-fashioned three-point play possibility. He loves that. Brandon, baseline Aker. Giving up Green Acres. Beautiful Disney free throw. Swish's can come true. 53 out of 64, and 83% free throw shooter coming in. Boy, that helps too when you get these post players that can knock down free throws.
Well, he can knock down free throws, and he's got enough ball handling that he can go to the rim.
And of course,
tremendous.
It's the Cather jinx. And what did we have on that? Violation. Foul on Zach Milkey.
On the box out there, I just saw Brady sliding all the way across to the corner there. Not quite sure how it happened, but apparently Mr. Milkey was assisting him in that transportation.
Guess so. Brady Butler to the line, 52% free throw shooter. 1-1. Deep, and the rebound. And we got a foul on Brady Butler on Brody Mogg. That'll be the Spartans' 6th foul.
It almost has that feeling right now that the game has gotten rather physical.
Yes.
And
officials trying to
bring
it back a little bit.
Rein it back in and
bring it back a
set
little
that
bit.
tone for how the game's going to be played. So
seems like we're getting a little ticky-tack at times, but sometimes you got to do that to control it. Feel that. Hildebrandt, nice, staying on the floor with Banks, Mogg, Geske. Oh. Milkey trying to get it down low to Brody Mogg, and errant pass. 16-12, 3:53 to go in the first half.
It's going to be one place where Evansville might be able to attack is lobbing it from that wing away from Banks, because there's not going to be a help defender there. They're going to deny Banks on the perimeter. You should have some space there if you have an angle on a lob.
Right. Brady Butler, Hildebrandt. Hansen down deep again, downtown, no good. Sam on the rebound, go back, strong to the basket, no good off the glass. Leading scorer for the Spartans, held scoreless so far tonight. Might be pressing a little bit on that. Banks, 26-footer, and kaboom. 3 ball for Brenna Banks. Splash it, count it, and it's 19-12. 7-point advantage for the Blue Devils. Again, we're playing for first place here in the Rock Valley Conference.
Big mistake there is they went underneath the ball screen.
Yep.
If you do that at any point with Banks, it's going to be 3 and they're transitioning the other way.
Yep. Oh, Aker pulling it down, and there's just the gift. He loves that move. I'll tell you, he's going to show you the ball all the time, and if you make any little move at all, goodbye. He's going by you. Nice step out that time by Aker to help Hildebrand. And we have a travel on Brennan Banks, who lost his footing.
They doubled on the ball screen initially. Again, I'm not sure if they're going to go to that ice look at all where they force him to go to the sideline, but when they did double on it, they had the roller there for a half second. Brennan decided to kind of take it on his own and turn that corner, though.
Yep. 19-14. 2:45 to go in your first half. Halftime tonight, I've got a few factoids, trivia, a few quotes, and a where are they now. Oh, that's what I mean. You got to keep your head up there, and Banks, nobody's stopping that, and to the hole he goes.
He is so
He went
physical
through and by 4 people. Well, look at, I mean, he is.
If there were 4 more on the floor, he would have went by them too.
I think you're right.
That's a freight train that you got to catch early on the tracks there. Otherwise,
yes, you do.
Get out of the way.
Oh, I'm coming up a little short. That was a gift for the Spartans. 74% free throw shooter on the year.
He's athletic enough too, where even if you get in front to take a charge, he's probably going to go around you.
Yeah. Yep. Wow, 0 for 2. That was a double gift for the Spartans. 19-14, 2:27 to go in the first half. Aker. Whoa! Kaboom! A 3-ball and a honeycomb and down. Count it. And we're at 19-17, a 2-point advantage. And right back at him. And 3-ball for number 23, Hayden Reese. Going to match it. That's why you cannot relax for a second. Boy, just Spartans thought to get a little momentum here, and Hayden Reese push it back down the floor. And
it all started with the penetration by Brennan Banks there. When they came and helped off of it, you got a shooter in the wing there. It's going to be a great place for him to have if you can get that help defender to commit.
Hildebrand. Aker. Right. Ove. And Evansville not happy with that. Boy, we got quite a few officials and whatever else up here in the stands. Somebody's got to be waiting for that. Only issue there was Brandon left his feet, but I guess from our vantage point, it was down on the other end, so kind of hard to see if somebody was moving or not.
Might have had something to do with the angle that Brandon had, too. He didn't go right at the rim, so it might have been more of a glancing blow.
Yep. 2 for 2 from the stripe tonight. 4 deuces, a tray, and 2 free throws. 13 points already. He's at his season average. And this can cut it to a 1-possession game. And, of course, the Cather jinx again. Just need to keep my mouth shut. 22-18, Banks guarded by Hildebrand. Beautiful spin move. Hansen on the help. Nice job by Sam just to get a hand up and bother Banks a little bit, alter the arc of the shot.
Great poise there by Butler.
Phil Robinson. Kaboom! All net for Philip Robinson. 5 for 11 on the year for the 5'8" junior. And we're at a 1-point ball game here with 1:05, $1:05 to go in your first half. And we have a moving screen on number 34, Logan Wardwell, 6'3" junior that just checked into the ball game for Evansville. And with a late little flurry here, this could be a little late momentum that Coach Meinholt and the Spartans are hoping to take into the halftime locker room.
He definitely stepped into that screen there. In terms of the shot from Phillip there, outstanding job by him, but what a great job of the poise by Butler. Chased down into the corner by Banks, throwing out of that double team.
Yep.
Phenomenal job.
Yep. So here we go. Your McFarland Spartans can grab the lead here. Hildebrand into Aker. But over Milky to help. Hansen. Boy, still just cannot find the range. Hildebrand, great hustle by Nick Hildebrand. 35 seconds to go. 22-21. Counting it down here in the first half.
Coach Meinholt maybe holding it for one here.
Yep, I think that'd be a smart decision.
Want to probably start to attack that rim at about 8 seconds. I guess I shouldn't be talking. The last couple times we've held for one, it's resulted in layups on the other end. We're a little early on it, but we'll adjust for the next one.
Yep. And we'll see if what the coach says might be true tomorrow night. And there you go. And that's exactly what happened. And Brennan Banks, boy, I didn't know you were calling it for Evansville. It's into Butler, and no good. And wow.
Tremendous job by Brennan to sit there. I mean, he stared at the ball the whole time, just waiting for the lackadaisical kind of pass there as they were rotating around. Really capitalized on it quite well.
You know, and I'm going to ask you this. Is it just because, does it everybody kind of gets in the mindset, you just kind of relax and say, okay, and you see the defense kind of relax too. Everybody just kind of, well, okay, you're going to take the last shot. And if you're that one person that says, hey, boy, as soon as I see them go to make that move to pass it, boy, I'm breaking on it because they can't bring it back.
Well, and you look, too, even after the turnover occurred, there was still a collective exhale on the court. It looked like for a while there, Brennan was the only one who realized we still had a little bit of time left here.
Right.
You'd like to see closing halves is huge. Closing games is huge. You got to take care of the ball there. And if you don't have any pressure on you, just hold it and wait.
Yep. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a couple of things here, and then I'm going to get you back. I got a couple of quotes again here for you to comment on. But why don't you go ahead if you would like to take a little break here for a second. And this is Bill the Big K Cather. I got a few factoids here as we're coming out. We've got young little Poms coming out here. So while I'm going through a few factoids and stuff like that, maybe we can keep the camera on these young ladies. I do not have a list of all the young ladies' names, but for your viewing pleasure in that, please look at the future dance squad and Poms of McFarland. Tonight I'm going to pay past player histories. I'm going to pay a little tribute to a couple of past military individuals here a while ago. First, Mr. Chip Lindenlaub. He was an all-conference basketball player as a senior. He also won letters in cross-country and track as a middle-distance runner. He was a fighter pilot with the United States Air Force. Mr. Clark Overbaugh, 1985 graduate. He also was all-conference basketball as a senior. He was a quarterback for the football team and also was a par golfer. We don't see a lot of those on Coach Hoftedal's golf team in 1985. He also was a fighter pilot for the United States Air Force. And at this time, I'd like to give a big shout-out to anybody, not only just people and alums and kids from our community that have gone into the service, and as well as parents and grandparents and that have served the United States of America in any capacity military-wise. But kudos to you. We appreciate all your efforts and time, and all the kids that are continuing to go into it nowadays. Kudos to you also for helping provide us with what we're looking at here tonight, opportunities for people to live free in our country. All right, so as you enjoy these young kids, again, we're going to get some great maybe close-up shots here of the kids, and also as well as your own McFarland dance squad team. And I'm going to quick run down their names. They are coached by Lexi Schradel and Amber Schradel. Your dance team that's out there helping these young ladies are Erin Curtin, Danielle Dorn, Mackenzie Gillen, Anna Jorgensen, Brooklyn Patchen, Camille Schmidt, Tara Shershak, Lauren Staley, Mercedes Thiel, and Lily Tyler. So thanks, girls. Boy, I can tell you they put in a lot of time and effort, too, just on their own for their performances and that. And I know they're in competition. They've won some recent awards and stuff like that. So hats off to them. We appreciate it because they, as well as our concessions, our supervisors, our ticket takers, our program makers, you name it, and that, everybody going to make this just a first-class time for anybody that comes to McFarland for any type of athletic activity. Hats off to you, all under the direction of Athletic Director Mr. Paul Ackley. Also shout out tonight to Mr. Brad Minter watching at home tonight, WBCA, Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association, recent Hall of Fame inductee in that. Kudos to you, Brad. So any of you that see him, again, congratulate Brad for all the many, many years and good things he's done for the kids and the community of McFarland over the years. All right, getting back to couple more things here I do at halftime. Good. A couple of my factoids tonight. I'm going to talk about the tallest and shortest NBA players. Tallest NBA players ever. There were two of them, 7 feet 7 inches tall. There was George Muresan from Romania, who weighed 315 pounds. He played for Washington and New Jersey. Now, the second player who was 7'7" was a player named Manute Bol. He weighed only 201 pounds. He played for Washington, Golden State, Miami, and Philly. Now, here's the real interesting factoid on him. His mother was 6'10", his dad was 6'8", his sister was 6'8", and his great-grandfather was 7 feet 10 inches tall. And get a load of this final fact on him. He was the only player to ever have more block shots than points scored in his career. Interesting, huh? And my second factoid of the night is the shortest player to ever play in the NBA. That would be an individual named Muggsy Bogues, 5 foot 3 inches tall. He played at Washington, Golden State, Charlotte, and Toronto. He retired in 2005 and became a head coach of a women's National Basketball Association team called the Charlotte Sting. And his final interesting factoid was he was actually 3 inches shorter than the shortest woman on his team named Helen Darling, who was 5 feet 6 inches tall. All right, next, a couple trivia questions for you here, and you can make your own little bets at home for chores or whatever else you'd like to tonight, or just for some general information or to have some fun. First trivia question, how many timeouts do you get in a high school game? How many timeouts do you get in a high school game? And the answer is 5. My second trivia question. How many of those 5 timeouts are 60-second timeouts, and how many are 30-second timeouts? In a high school game, how many 60-second timeouts do you get, and how many 30-second timeouts do you get? And the answer is you get 3 60-second timeouts and thus 2 30-second timeouts. Okay, my last trivia question is, why was the 10-foot height selected for the height of a basket that we see in all these games? 4 choices here, and it's a multiple choice. Letter A, why is the 10-foot height selected for the height of the basket? Letter A, the basket was put at the edge of an elevated running track, which was 10 feet high. Letter B, the tallest height that could be reached by the inventor's ladder to retrieve a made basket was 10 foot high. Letter C, a pole used to support a tent to hold up the basket just happened to be 10 feet high. Or D, the barn that was first used for the backboard had a hook on it, and that just happened to be 10 feet high. So what do you think? A, was a basket was put at the edge of an elevated track. B, the tallest height that could be reached by a ladder. C, a pole used to support a tent to hold up the basket was 10 feet high. Or D, a hook on a barn was 10 feet high. And the answer is letter A. The basket actually first was put at the edge of an elevated running track, which was 10 feet high. The first peach baskets were attached to the edge of an elevated running track that happened to be 10 feet off the floor. That 10 feet height lasted over 113 years, even with the dramatic increase in athleticism of today's player. So, just in time for Cather's quotes to live by and play by, I got the coach back in here. I asked him if he'd come back and make a few comments on these quotes. I've got 4 of them tonight. Read them and then see if you'd care to comment on them. First one tonight. When you are through improving, you are through.
I've always loved that. Lifelong learning is so important. Coaches, the same thing. As soon as I figured it all out, I should retire.
Absolutely. Should we ever stop listening, having an open mind,
Yep.
asking for any information, any input, and then do with it whatever we say? Some good, some bad, some positives, some negatives, huh? All right, my next quote. Obstacles should not stop a person. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or go around it.
One of the things that I think the upcoming generation can really benefit from is overcoming adversity. Bad stuff happens to all of us. Some of it's severe, some of it minor. But just find a way to get through it. And sometimes you got to go to other people for help. Great.
Yep. Next, great effort comes from great attitude.
There's a great diagram I've seen where if you take the letters of attitude and if you go 1 through 26 and score it all together, it equals 100. Whereas all those other things, skill, talent, and all of that, all happens to fall a little bit short.
And this last one, I'm sure you're going to like this too. Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen.
Absolutely beautiful. It's the whole idea of everybody talks about the will to win. Mm-hmm. Everyone in this room is willing to win. They all have the will to win. Who has the will to put into work that it takes to win?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Outstanding stuff.
And again, I want people at home and listening to these quotes and that understand this isn't just basketball talk. This is life's talk. And again, I think you'll agree with me. I've said basketball is just another way to making these kids and everybody a better person in life, whether it's drama, whether it's a job, whether it's music, whether it's French club. I don't care what it is. Every experience, a new door of opportunity is opened, and take advantage of it and becoming a better person. One
of the many powerful things, a man by the name of Mick Miyamoto, he was the assistant dean of students and offensive coordinator at UW La Crosse. He used to always say, I have the opportunity to coach life through the game of football.
Oh, perfect.
Same thing here with
Sums
basketball.
It up. Yep. That one was for you, John Wells, and you and all the stories that you used to bring up in that. So thanks, Coach. I know that. Oh, Nick Hildebrand. Oh, a little short arm. And the rebound to Hayden Reese.
Great crash by him after the shot, and great get back there by Aker and Howery. It was a nice way to prevent the transition.
3-point advantage, 24-21. Brennan Banks, pull-up jumper, right elbow, a little on the short side.
Tell you, I'm a little worried about how loose he's getting on those ball screens. He's going to capitalize, and it's really going to hurt the McFarland Spartans here.
Yep. Yeah, pretty clean look there. 4 deuces, Trey. 11 points for Brennan Banks, averaging 25 points almost a ball game so far. 11 at halftime. Aker down low. Oh, look away pass. Great hands by Brady Butler, and look away pass. Popped out of there. Brady Butler stuck with it, persistent. Went back strong to the basket. Again, a little pump fake, and back to the stripe for Brady. Beautiful.
Just want to make sure that everything you do has a purpose right now. Yes, the look away pass looks awesome when you get it there, but let's make sure it's not just a really cool looking turnover.
Like I saw in the last game here, a little behind the back pass action that turned into a turnover. I don't believe you were here, but it was just like, don't do that. Got to make sure. So
there's a place for the look away. There's a place for the behind the back. Just make sure that it's not just because it looks sweet.
Yep. 24-22. Oh, the freshman Geske, no good. And on the rebound, and kicked up by Reese, no good on the long ball, and it's going to go over to your Spartans.
I don't know how Coach Krupke feels about the shot selection for that possession.
Kind of scratching his head over there on the sideline. Banks cheering up his team. That's what you call senior leadership. 24-22, 16:35 to go in your ball game here.
Coming back to that horn set again.
First place battle tonight.
Great job by Butler to get Aker back in that post and to get the ball to the wing looking for an entry. They didn't get it there, but he's leading on the floor there.
Butler, nice cut to the basket. Oh, just lost possession of it. Kicked it out to Howery. Oh my goodness, and got it back to Brady Butler, and wow. Have to have some L-U-C-K luck oftentimes in these games. And here comes Banks. Kick it out in the corner. Kind of interesting. Brennan Banks, who's only about 3 feet from the basket. Oh, and a beautiful kiss off the glass by Sully Geske, 6'2" freshman. His second deuce of the night, 4 points.
I think McFarland's going to be able to create a turnover here soon with Hayden Reese coming into the painted area there off balance. If he can play off of 2 feet, he could do some nice things, but I think they're going to be able to do something.
Brandon Aker, 5th deuce of the night to go with the train. 2 free throws, 15 points. Really a nice ball game. Banks A little strong on the 18-footer. Sam Hansen. And Brady Butler, honeycombed out. Looking to really gain some big-time confidence there. On a nice lob pass in, and a little strong, and Milky on the putback. And Coach Krupke up on the trampoline there, jumping in the air. He wanted that one bad. 26 all. We are knotted up. 15:07 to go.
And Philip Robinson coming in here for McFarland. Be interesting to see what he can provide for them offensively.
And Milky missing his first free throw of the evening. He's 4 for 5 from the line. I'm going to give a little shout out now to my son Bretter, watching down in Columbia, South America. Hope you're enjoying the ball game tonight. And all net 5 for 6 for Zach Milky. Philip Robinson in the ball game. Hit a big tray late in the first half. Robinson being guarded by Hayden Reese. Attacking the basket. Beautiful drive. Crossover drive by Philip Robinson. Coming on strong every game, gaining more confidence.
That's that instant offense they look for when he checks into the game. A tremendous job by him attacking.
Geske. And the old-fashioned hook. And third deuce of the game for Solieski. Wow, you don't see many of those old-fashioned hook shots like that anymore. 29-28 Evansville back on top. I got a feeling we might go just seesaw. We're on the teeter-totter here for the rest of this ball game. Nick Hildebrand, no good. And the rebound to Seth Mogg, 6'5" freshman.
Jeff Meinholt can't be happy with the offensive rebounding effort right now. I don't know if they had one guy come inside that three-point line when that shot went out.
Geske spin move. And nice defense by Seth Howry. Got Geske up in the air, so he's a little off balance. Dipped back to help on the pass. And
here I thought it was Reese that was going to have the issue with it, but Geske does the same thing. Playing off of 1 foot, playing in the air. It's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I mean, that's not real good advice to leave your feet in this game. No. And another turnover for the Spartans. Hayden Reese. Banks.
Expect a ball screen here.
Yep. And a little push off on Hildebrand and a little strong on the back edge. Thought he might have just used a little elbow to get a little space that time on Nick. No call. Hildebrand. Sam Hansen, could it be his first of the night? Nope. And the rebound by Seth Mogg again. Sam Hansen, tough night shooting again tonight. No points.
Be interested to see the shot chart from the year of where those spots are that he's shooting well from the perimeter and where they are that he's not.
And off the wrong foot. That was kind of some interesting passing, but Seth Mogg getting his first deuce of the night, and three-point advantage for Evansville, 31-28. Phil Robinson up in the rafters, no good. Went wide right. Comes Milky. Beautiful pass, and the fast break basket by Solieski, his fourth deuce of the night. 8 points and a 5-point advantage. And stepping out late was Seth Mogg.
Thought you might see a timeout here by Coach Meinholt just to kind of regroup.
Yeah, I think that's who we're going to find out again. And okay, I'm going to catch you on this also, Coach. What about using those timeouts? You try and save them for just down the stretch, or is it game situation based?
For me, I've had a chance to work with this crew for quite a while. I've got a senior point guard in Brooke Lonegro who, between every free throw, is on the sideline, so I can make those adjustments. Our girls know what the expectations are for them. I've never really been of the thought process to take a timeout to tell people to box out. They're aware of that,
right? I agree.
But there is something to be said for just stopping that other team's momentum. Unfortunately, I have not done a tremendous job with that this year, and I'll have to kind of take a look at it as we move forward on maybe using some of those more often.
Yep. A local McFarland night that won the 50-50 raffle. That was the big cheer that went up there. 33-28, 5-point lead. Hunter Patchen, Mr. Diligent in the game. Phil Robinson, and we're going to have a moving screen, and how unfortunate was that as Phillip was ready to nail another one. Hunter Patchen, got to be a little careful about just still getting yourself set on that.
Does a nice job rolling there, but, you know, when you roll and the guy's going underneath the screen, you can get tagged for that once in a while.
Yep. Guy in the back, Geske. 34 in the ball game, Logan Wardwell. Oof, that's a pass that's not, I would call that ill-advised. Milky on Robinson took the extra step, and a bump on Phillip Robinson before the extra step.
I think he was okay on the step there when he came down on 2 with the body contact there. It might have caused him to take that next step.
Oh, and the lob to Banks. Oh, and he short-armed, alligator arms on that. Phil Robinson. Howry from the bench. Swisheroo, it goes through. Kaboom! Second tray of the night for Seth Swish Howry.
I'm not sure he was checked into the game yet. He was standing
I think he might
on the side table there in front of our PA announcer there, Chris Dirk.
Okay, I got to throw this back at you. I watched several years of that range. I keep telling him, too, he just reminds me that my son used to have that range. Coach Z over at Monona Grove used to say, hey, as soon as he checked in, as soon as he went to the scorer's table, they said, get over here right away. When he steps on the floor, you got to guard him.
Pick him up. He's got that in the gym range.
Yeah. Boy, that was great. That was a big time. Maybe get a little extra confidence here, too, for Seth Howry.
That's the same gentleman here, number 34, Wardwell, who had the moving screen earlier in this game.
And we're back to a one possession, 2-point ball game, 33-31. We're at 11:10 to go in your ball game here. Said we're going to have an old-fashioned white knuckler here tonight, I think. For your viewing pleasure, Aker. And we've got another whistle.
I think he touched the wire on the off the rim there.
Yep.
Can't quite see it on the camera here, but there's the wire that hangs down for the hoops.
And I'll tell you, for those of you at home, sometimes I'm watching the monitor and other times I'm watching the game. Sometimes the monitor is what I've almost got to watch, especially when plays on the other end of the floor. Entry pass, and Milky on a beautiful entry pass from Sully Geske. Second deuce of the night for Zach Milky to go with 5 free throws, 9 points. 6'3" junior, and we're at 35-31. 10:30 left in your ball game here tonight.
Evansville's
Butler head up.
And
we have
so hard on
Hunter
defense right
Patchen. Again, boy, we're seeing a lot of moving screens.
You look, Brandon Akers just working his tail off to get inside, get the ball inside there, and whoever it is, they've had a couple different guys that have been on him, but they're just working so hard to keep it out of his hands. Real credit to the Blue Devils.
Yep. The thing I like about Brandon tonight, too, I'll tell you what, I mean, they've been kind of shutting off baseline for him tonight, so going strong to the lane. Milky. Oh, got Hansen up and lost control of the ball. Nick Hildebrand. Kick it back out. Swish Howry. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and Aker just short-armed it.
From our angle, that
looked
good.
like it was good, didn't it? Uh-oh, and here goes Banks strong to the basket. And a Mike and layup coming reverse, and beautiful by Banks, his 5th deuce.
Great job by him to meet that ball and spin out of the gamble. When McFarland went for the steal there, he spins off of it to get momentum, and great finish by him.
Defensive back in football makes the gamble. It's going to be 6 going the other way or 6 the other way. Oh, and Sam Hansen's going to get a push heading into the corner. And 37-31, 6-point advantage here. Touch of momentum swing here, maybe coming back to Evansville. Just got to settle down here, Spartans.
Never loved that turnaround jumper. I know he's hit it before, and he's capable of doing it. It's just you can get that at any point in the possession.
Brody Mock.
Here's your 1-3-1 now, Mr. Cather.
Banks.
Better know
Let's
where
see
he's
how
at.
they attack it. Yep. timeout for Coach Krupke.
One of the things that happens when you get into a zone, especially if you're not a team that's really heavy in the zone, is you start to lose the location of those shooters. You start to lose the location of those playmakers. You're so focused on your rotation that you don't keep into consideration the fact that there's a really, really good kid in Brennan Banks sitting in the wing there at the shooting alley.
Absolutely. You know, and I'll tell you, did I see a great example of coaching and how to beat a zone when Greg Gard ate up Syracuse when they came here. He put on a clinic as to how to beat a zone.
Their post-to-post passing, the way that they go high-low, short corner, high post is just
a clinic,
phenomenal.
Wasn't it?
And when you combine that with shooters like Koenig on the perimeter, Trice, those kind of guys, I mean, it's just – I'm a zone guy, and I'd feel uncomfortable running it against them.
Right, yep. And there was a little dump to Milky again, and rather than going up strong, getting position, get a strong base on him, footwork in that, he went up sideways and just threw it back across his body. Boy. Oh, Hildebrand, beautiful dump pass, and Aker rejected like a good steak, saying no to ketchup, and Banks, and a little pop out there. Philip Robinson. No, that was ill-advised, and again, Phil left his feet to bounce that pass and took a little, tried to draw the charge on Banks. Brennan's got a little too much experience for that.
That's what we talked about in the first half there.
Yeah.
You can try and step in front, but it ain't going to make a bit of difference.
Absolutely. And Sam Hansen attacking the basket. And we have a foul on Zach Milky, his third foul. He's an important piece to the Evansville Blue Devil middle here. So you might want to think that you might want to go after him and try and pick up the fourth, potentially the fifth. Sam Hansen, McFarland's leading scorer, still hasn't broken the ice here tonight. It's a pretty standard play. Inbounds it and then post up and seal and try and get it back.
Doing a great job making himself
Phil
big
Robinson, little short side, and Milky on the rebound.
Sam really did a tremendous job. Was triple wide, he had his hands out wide, his body's wide, and his mouth's wide. He's calling for that ball. Got to make sure that you get him the entry when he's working that hard.
Absolutely. Hey, and I think you mentioned about four things that are so important. Given a target, showing hands, sealing, proper body spacing, things like that. So many times kids, you'll teach them, hey, cut to the basket or run off a screen or something, and they never give a target. I mean, show that you want the ball.
Two things that we talk about in terms of passing: making yourself available, giving yourself that target, and then localizing your aiming point. Aim small and miss small. Don't throw it to Sam. Throw it to the number. Throw it to the hand. Really focus on that target.
That's what I mean by giving a target. And
we'll swing offense here for Evansville now.
And the purpose of this being what? Slow it down a little bit.
Slow it down.
Shot selection.
And you're going to get multiple post-entry opportunities here. Plus, with them face-guarding Brennan Banks, you're going to have lack of help defense when he's away from the ball.
Banks being guarded by Hildebrand. Again, nice defense, but a nice box out by Milky, who stepped on the line. Nick Hildebrand tonight. Shout out to his grandparents watching down in Nashville, Tennessee. He's been assigned the difficult task tonight of trying to shadow Brennan Banks.
If they go back to that swing again, there was some miscommunication. I think after Brennan had come through, they had a guy wide open underneath the hoop there. Never saw it from the top.
39-31. McFarland been stuck here on 31 for about the last 3.5 minutes. Got to get the lid off. We're at 7 minutes to go in your ball game. 39-31. Sam Hansen.
You almost wonder if McFarland will go back to that 1-3-1 on defense now. They did it for one possession. Coach Krupke called the timeout. Be interesting to see if they come back to that again.
Banks tightly guarding Brady Butler, and they're getting Banks for hands-on, and Banks talking to the official about the elbow coming out, trying to give a little distance there. So personally, I didn't see a whole lot of anything on either side. Philip Robinson, nice drive to the basket, and I like to see that. That's a nice dimension for Philip to work on here. Boy, you got to have a point guard out there that's not afraid to attack that basket.
His explosion has just, you've seen him progressed after coming off that injury, and just the way that his game has grown has been really fun to watch.
15 out of 20, 75% free throw shooter on the year.
Appreciate that, Mr. Cather.
I said, every time I've mentioned something, they've missed, right? So I'm not saying anything. I do not have any percentages on him this year. Let's see if this works. I have no idea what Phillip is from the line this year. Just hope he makes it.
I'm just going to have to unplug the mic when we get to the line.
Just called, if we had a sign, it would be held up right now. It's called Just Shut Up. And a foul that time on Phillip. Closely guarding Brennan Banks. Wow, his fourth foul on Phillip Robinson, 5'8" junior. He's just coming on stronger and stronger, and boy, next year I'm expecting a really promising, nice senior season for him. Brennan Banks.
I think you could see a special season from him in a couple of different sports. One of which being him playing wide receiver in the fall.
Banks. Boy, yeah, rough night from the free throw line. Only 1 for 4 tonight, averaging 25 points a game. Aker, beautiful bounce pass, Sam Hansen, and whoa, Brody Mogg trying to get the charge. Believe was just, boy, that was a split hair late maybe. Boy, that was a real borderline call. It wasn't borderline according to the Evansville faithful. Saw in the stands.
That's one of those there where I don't care which one the official says.
Yep.
I just have to agree with him. It's so tight.
It is. I agree.
He's got a better angle than I do. He's got all the better feel of the game. And
absolutely. And you want to know something? Kudos to you as a coach for saying that, and that would be your approach, because you just have to do that. You know, that should be your approach rather than just chewing on him. And Sam Hansen is finally in the books with his first point of the evening. Maybe the little come off where it's 6:15 to go in your ball game, 40-32. A lot lower scoring than we thought it was going to be here tonight. Milky attacking the basket, and that's going to be an and one. Boy, was that nice the way he used his body to go right into Seth Howry, who tried to come back and help on that.
That is the difference between going off of 2 feet and going off of 1 foot.
Very good point.
Gets to a great base, can elevate in when Seth brings in that contact. He can control his body. Really, really nice finish by him.
Milky 5 for 6 from the stripe so far tonight.
That one was not close.
42-32, 10-point double-digit lead.
Coach Meinholt going to try and open the lane.
Cody Wanta, boy, he wanted to let it go there. Nassau, he'll launch it. Study step, approach it, and that's going to be the charge that time as Brennan Banks stood his ground, and Cody went airborne again on the move to the basket. And maybe looking back at it, Cody's probably going, I should have dropped the 3 ball on him the first time I got it. He caught it. Hands and feet were set and just didn't let it go. And once you hesitate, don't let it go then. Commit to it in rhythm and let her go.
Make a decision. When you second guess, you're going to be in trouble.
Commit.
Back in that swing offense look here now. 5-second, closely guarded.
Wow. Boy, I have not seen that called. Oh, I was going to say that's the first time I've seen that called this year in all the games that I've done. Double-digit lead still here for Evansville. 5:30 to go in your ball game tonight. Wanta, Aker. Up. And a telegraph pass, and here comes Milky. And, oh, that was almost going to be another and one.
Coach Meinholt's got to just find a way to kind of get it reset here. I don't know if it's going back to that A set, that horns look, that double high ball screen. Something to kind of provide some more
change
structure.
It up. Yeah. Boy, and Milky again, a misfire. Boy, free throw shooting has become atrocious. And inning second. 6 for 9 on the night for Milky. An 11-point advantage. Howry, Wanta, Butler going to attack it at baseline. Cut off by Banks. Out to Cody Wanta. Oh, then honeycombed out. That could have been a big 3-ball. And Aker trapped in the corner, and Coach Meinholt with the timeout. 30-second timeout here. And boy, the Spartans have hit a drought. This is like a Wisconsin Badger drought that they hit sometimes. 5-8 minutes. I mean, they were stuck on 31 for about 3.5 minutes. I believe I said that. Well, we've got another 3 minutes, and they've scored 1 point. So we're at 5:01 left to go in your ballgame. Again, what's at stake here tonight? McFarland can get a 2-game advantage with, I believe, 3 ball games left after tonight in the Rock Valley Conference. Or Evansville will come away and place themselves in a tieback with your McFarland Spartans. So we'll see. 5:01 left to go in your ball game here tonight. Again, thanks a lot to Patrick Morn on the floor cam, Ben Becks at half court, and Steph Miller and Andrew Day on the board tonight, helping us with this broadcast and hopefully making this more enjoyable for everybody. Thanks a lot to my Cable 982 crew. And there goes Aker baseline.
I mean, this is going to be how they claw their way back into this. Number one possession at a time.
Yes.
But also just getting those points while the clock is stopped, getting that opportunity to get to the line.
Should we sit here and just keep thinking we got to launch threes? No. No.
As much as I love the 3-ball.
Yep. Aker. Disney free throws. Swishes can come true. They can happen to you, and they happen to Brandon there. 3 for 4 on the night. Again, he was an 83% free throw shooter coming in, so a good person to have at the stripe for the Spartans.
You really had to mention that, didn't you?
Gosh, I can't believe it. And I'm going to hear about it, I'm sure, from some people, too. Oh, my goodness. Geske, the freshman.
Back in their swing offense here.
Yep. Milky, trying to post up Banks down low.
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily a designed idea, if that's the matchup they're looking for, but it's part of the rotation on that swing.
The freshman, and got up in the air. Ball pulled back down by Wardwell, I'm sorry. And a beautiful pass, and are they going to call a travel on Milky? What do you think on that, Coach? Pretty close.
Yeah, looked like he kind of
came
caught
to a
it as
jump
he was
stop,
coming down off of 2, but then I think he had to elevate off of those 2 feet again. So
close call.
Tough one, yeah.
Yep. 10-point advantage, 43-33. 4 minutes left in your ball game tonight. Sam Hansen. Nice give and go. And Nick Hildebrand. Beautiful. That was for you, the grandparents down in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're doing 8-point ball game. 3:45 to go. Banks.
Great vision off that ball screen.
Yep. Butler was coming backside there. And this ball's going to be turned over to McFarland, stepping up the defensive pressure. And I'll tell you, the person that handles the pressure the best, Brennan Banks. Goal to keep it out of his hands and pressure the other 4. And that job will be up to soccer star Nick Hildebrand. Beautiful give and go. And Brady Butler on the nice give and go. And we're down to a 6-point ball game. Coming back. Brennan Banks with the ball. I assume that he will have the ball in his hands a lot here. Oh my goodness. And they were looking for a charge.
Looks like they called it
and
up
they
top
called
here.
it on Brennan Banks. Seth Howry, the 3rd charge that Seth Howry has drawn tonight. I'll tell you, that's called guts.
What a tremendous pass by Brennan.
Yes, it was.
However, he continued with his momentum as opposed to coming to that dynamic jump stop.
Yep.
That's where Seth got him.
6-point game, 3 minutes to go in your ball game tonight. Spartans got a little momentum here. Need to keep it going. Boy, every possession, how important is it right now? And again, we look at coming down the stretch here, how important every possession is. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Couldn't control it. Nick Hildebrand. Oh, and they are going to call Hayden Reese on the foul, and Nick Hildebrand will go to the stripe. Both teams are in the double bonus.
Not a terrible closeout if you're planning on running a shooter off of his spot. I don't know if that's necessarily Nick's spot, but you've got to make sure you have enough control where you don't nip him on the foul there, too.
Missing the first free throw. Just slow down, Nick. RELAX, relax, as Aaron Rodgers would say. Relax, go through your routine, and knock them down. 0 for 2. That does not help.
There you go.
2:40 to go in the ball game. Brennan Banks. 2-possession ball game. The freshman, Reese Milky, attacking the basket. Oh, and that was a big baseline move by Milky and the and one.
I don't know if this is necessarily by design, but Evansville has done a tremendous job of having Banks set the ball screen now on the wing, knowing that his defender is not going to help or show on it at all.
Right.
It's given them a clear path right to the lane 3 or 4 times now.
Oh, and that is really an unfortunate bounce right there off the rim. Banks, wow, he dribbled into trouble there, but Farm just couldn't quite trap him. 45-37, we're at 2:15 to go. And a travel on Hayden Reese.
That's what we talked about in the beginning of that half there, where he's not playing off of 2 feet. So when he gets bumped going off of 1, he takes the second, third, fourth step, gets called for that travel.
Yep. Boy, we are getting excellent game analysis here. Thank you very much, Coach. I'm loving this, as I'm sure all the viewers are at home. And the kids, as everybody who looks back at this game even later on. Teaching tool here tonight, listening to the coach.
I don't know if I'd go
and then
quite
just
that
an old
far.
guy. Brady Butler, Banks, Hanson, patient. Watch for Aker, Hanson. Howery, kick it out, over to Butler. Hildebrand, patient, $1:35 to go. Brady Butler, gotta like it. And the kiss off the glass.
Evansville's going to want to make sure that they're not elevating and swinging down on some of these drives to the rim. The last thing they want to do is turn a 2 into a potential 3, sending that guy to the line.
Again, these ball games can be viewed, for those of you, obviously some are watching on cable 982 right now. Some are watching this live streaming this on our website, YouTube, McFarland Cable. But again, if you want to enjoy this later on tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, go to the website, YouTube, McFarland Cable, or go to the Village of McFarland website, and you can view these games at any time. So memories for all of you, for the kids. I know they go back, they enjoy, get a kick out of watching these later on. And
so let me flip the script on you here, Coach Cather, which you had as in a past life. Getting down to a situation here where you could be in a foul must sort of situation.
Yep.
Do you go off of your season percentages, or do you go off of who's shooting during the game?
I'm going off who's going on the game tonight.
Okay.
I
so
am a game
80% shooter who's 2 of 5
struggled
on the night. You send him to the
Yep,
line.
I'm going with him, because I'm saying tonight he's struggling with it.
Okay.
And yours?
I have a tendency to go with the adage of water always comes back to level. An 80% shooter who's 2 and 5 on the night, probably going to hit his next 3. But I think that changes if you have a younger player.
Right. And I'm gonna probably say that what I would do in that case is I would try that first time. If that 80% shooter stepped up and banged 2, then we go back to years, you know. So
I'm data driven to a fault, though. The thing I love about data is there's no emotions.
Well, and it doesn't lie.
Right.
Does it?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
I'm not going to go with that one, because that one could get you in a little trouble, maybe. $1:05 to go. Robinson from the corner. Oh, man, that honeycombed out. What a heartbreaker. What a heartbreaker. That thing, how did it spin out of there? And the fall on Butler. Just a half a second late from getting that. Oh, you can just see the frustration on Philip Robinson's face.
What great discipline by Brody Mogg to take that ball and bring it back out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he might be able to get a 2 there, but 45 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever you can get off the clock.
Yep.
Plus now you're sending this guy to the line.
Do you think Vito Brown would like to have maybe dribbled out to the corner in that last game against Indiana rather than going to the basket and missing the easy little deuce?
Hindsight is always 20/20 there, I guess, huh?
And Brennan Banks and an 9-point advantage, 48-39, 52 seconds left in your ball game. Oh, that was one that was like cutting the heart out of you to watch it sit here and spin around. That's something where you almost see in a movie in slow motion where it goes around and you just keep waiting for it to fall back in.
Well, it helps that Phillips' ball doesn't really rotate.
That's a very good point.
He's got a very nice looking shot right now. There's not a ton of backspin on, not a ton of rotation, but it makes for quite the dramatic effect as it's coming down here to potentially cut this thing down. But
right. That is just really unfortunate. But again, boy, what an entertaining game here tonight for everybody involved in this. Two teams going at it strong here. And again, the battle for first place. So I hope all of you, whether you're watching in Evansville and Shanghai, China, and Columbia, South America, and Minneapolis, Chicago, you name it, are enjoying this as much as we are, bringing it to you. And again, if you enjoy these telecasts, please share that with our station. Don't feel bad about dropping them an email or a phone call or something else and saying you'd like to see these telecasts continue. And again, tomorrow night, big ball game, East Troy Trojan girls here against Coach Willicott's girls. Aker from the corner, no good, rebound, and that ball is going Evansville's direction, and the clock is not in the Spartans' favor right now. 37.6 seconds to go. Again, a shout out tonight, John Wells. Hope you're recovering at home and hope you're back on the public address announcer tomorrow night. Hope you're feeling better. Brad Minner, hope you enjoyed this telecast sitting at home tonight. WBCA, Hall of Fame inductee. Geske,
and my
Banks.
Personal mentor and friend, let me tell you. I wouldn't be here in this chair, in this profession, here in this community if it wasn't for the likes of Brad Minner.
Well, how many people wouldn't be where they were if it wouldn't be him? How many kids wouldn't be where they are without him? Did so much for this community and so many positives in that. So kudos to him and his induction into the Hall of Fame. Well-deserved. Boy, Banks has really struggled from the line tonight. He is 4 for 9. So again, begs the question, would you foul him?
Right.
You know, maybe tonight I wouldn't feel bad starting with him, I guess, especially if it was 1-1, 5 for 10, and an 10-point advantage, 49-39. Sam Hansen, long three ball, kaboom! Sam Hansen, his first three ball, we're at 49-42. 17.2 seconds left to go. You know, never say never, especially when you have high school kids playing basketball. And a great little musical selection here, choice by the coach, punching in our little computerized music that we have here tonight. And again, what a great job we've done tonight. Ben Beck's up in the skybox at half court. Some great shots all night long from up there. Ben doing a great job. Floor cam tonight from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Patrick Morn, love what you've been doing. Look at these great close-ups you get of kids in that. If you can't be here, it's like you are here when you're watching at home on these telecasts. And then Steph Miller and Andrew Day on the board. Thanks again to all of you. Great job. All right, 17.2 to go, 7.3 possession ball game.
I'd watch Brennan leaking out the top here on this.
And that's a technical foul, and boy, what, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to be very honest with you. In youth basketball and that, several tournaments, I used that same move, and how special is that? Because you can, on an inbounds play, you can bring somebody out of bounds, pass it to them, and that is a technical foul if they come out of bounds.
You can do that as long as you can run the baseline.
As long as you can run the baseline,
yes.
which they could, because that was after a made basket.
Yes.
Some of you sitting at home are going, what's that? They passed the ball out of bounds. You are allowed to do that, as the coach said. I have to tell you, I honestly did. I have used that in several youth tournament games or even school games in that. A lot of people aren't very familiar with that.
I got one of my players in the stands right now looking at me. Every about 2 or 3 weeks, we talk about some of these last-minute situational things, and that's one of the options that we have.
Oh,
the other one is, don't want to show my cards too much, I guess,
no.
but running the baseline and
then
sticking
don't.
someone
Don't. We're not. I don't want you to go there.
I don't think they're going to scout me on the boys' broadcast, but maybe. We've got a couple of those
Save it for me when I get to
nuances.
comment on it, because I'll know if I'm looking for it in a late-game situation. I'm going to say,
Perfect.
That's what he wanted to say that night. But Banks back to the free throw line. Brennan Banks, 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 for 13 from the free throw line to go with 6 deuces and a tray. And he's going to be at his season average with just some late free throws, 12, 10. Hansen going to the basket and Milky on the push. Why? Coach Krupke's got to be going wide. Just let him go. It doesn't matter. He's going to run out. A little frustration here again on Sam's face tonight. Leading scorer for the Spartans, and just had a tough night again, knocking the ball down tonight. It's only Sam's 5th point. A tray. And now 2 for 3 from the free throw line. And another one. Inbound to Brennan Banks. And big victory tonight for Evansville, coming back and taking out a little revenge here as they lost the initial meeting this year, 61-56 on their home floor. So a little payback tonight for the Evansville
a couple of tough
Blue
games
Devils.
too. They
they
got
have.
throttled pretty good by East Troy not too long ago, and then one ugly. I guess it's still a win, but it sounded like one ugly against Bigfoot.
Yes. Yep.
So.
Well, put a little pitch in for tomorrow night's game, and any final comments here, and then I'll put a wrap on this, Coach.
We'd love to have you out here, folks. Our last regular season game of the year, we will be honoring our senior, Brooke Lonegro, who is
well-deserved.
Given blood, sweat, and tears, and just about anything else. If I didn't lock her out of the gym, she'd probably be in here now, interrupting the boys' game to shoot. Tremendously hard worker, and we've got a team here that's looking to do some special stuff this year, and it's our last chance to get a guaranteed one here. Seating meeting coming up afterwards. Looking like we may have another home game after that. But as you well know, you can go into those seating meetings thinking one thing and coming out thinking something very differently. So
I've sat in them, yes.
We'd love to have you out here supporting the girls who work very, very hard, and have you all out there mocking my cough for a little while. That usually happens quite a bit.
No, I have more fun watching you try and call timeouts. That's the biggest thrill of the game. So anyways, hey, thanks a lot again, Coach. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll be here again tomorrow night making the call on your game and looking for those last-minute plays that we're going to insert into the ball game. But, no, it's always a real pleasure. I'll tell you what, kudos to you and the program that you run here. Very well-respected coach, does such a nice job with the kids, and I'm going to say not just with basketball but in life, and that's the number one thing that I can tell you in all my years of working with kids and coaching and teaching and everything else. That's number one, is what are the kids taking out of this and how they're becoming better people in life. And you do just an excellent job with that. And I'm not just talking about our own kids, but kids that you work with daily in the classroom, as well as I've seen the respect and heard from other people in the conference and other coaches and other games that I go to and that speak very highly of you and the program that you run here. So kudos to you, as well as little Archie and a fine young lady and your wife. You got a wonderful family. So thanks a lot again, Pete.
I'm definitely the slouch of the group right now with the three of us. Thank you for the kind words. If the only thing that I have when I'm done here is a bunch of good basketball players, and I've severely failed in my mission. So hopefully they learn some basketball and they enjoy it and use it as a lifelong activity. And where that takes them, wherever. For some of them, it could be beyond high school. For some of them, that'll be it. But hopefully I've done more to impact their life in a positive way than just with basketball.
I just pulled out a final quote. If all I'm remembered for is being a good basketball player and a coach, then I have done a bad job with the rest of my life.
Perfect.
Sum it up?
Perfect. Absolutely.
Okay, so with that, thanks again a lot, Coach. Appreciate it. Again, tonight's final score then, 52-44, a victory for the Evansville Blue Devils over your McFarland Spartans. So again, I'd like to extend a huge heartfelt thanks to Coach Willicott here for sitting in next to me, Ben Becks and Patrick Morn for their camera work, Stephanie Miller and Andrew Day for their work on the board tonight. Thank you so very much. Can't do it without you people. Look forward to working with you again tomorrow night. So my hope is this telecast provided you, the viewing public, with an enjoyable evening of McFarland Youth Sports, and for the kids participating, another special memory for them. Again, I feel honored and privileged to be given this opportunity, so be sure to either get here in person tomorrow night or join me for our next telecast tomorrow evening against the Trojans of East Troy. This is Bill, the Big K Cather, just living the dream, signing off and reminding you all, stay healthy, stay positive, live each day to its fullest. God bless you. God bless you, my son, down in South America, in Colombia. I stumbled on that one. And so long from McFarland, USA.